Welcome back to Dungeon Master's Corner. Today, Nicole amps up the spoops with a Barovian funhouse, and we kidnap some children. For their own good. Start the episode. Hello and welcome to another episode of the DM's Corner. My name is Brian.
My name is Andrew Brown.
And I'm Nicole.
And today we are actually we're doing it again where we're handing the reins over to our good friend Nicole, who's run another one-shot for us.
So it was around like Halloween time, and I like spooky things, and I like sharing spooky things with my friends. So I found Happy Jack's Funhouse on the DM's Guild. It's by Remleyfar and Jeff C. Stevens. Definitely recommend checking it out. We'll include a link down in the description. But basically, long story short, some kids have gone missing, and our heroes went into the funhouse of Happy Jack to find them.
They were just bad parents. The parents didn't watch their kids right. Like, nothing was going right for this.
The parents were the worst.
They were the
worst parents. Like, I'm pretty sure we had discussed many times, we're gonna rescue these kids and then kidnap them and take them.
Yep, they absolutely wanted to just adopt all the children, which is really funny because Brian doesn't usually play a dad, and he was actually playing a dad with kids in peril.
I greatly dislike children. They are like, they're dirtier than animals. They're less adorable than animals. They are subpar to animals.
Louder, they're more
animals
work,
are the
they're
best.
more expensive. It's a whole thing. But anyway,
Cats are far superior to children.
they own us. Let's be real.
I will die on this hill.
But they went into the fun house to save the children, which the fun part is supposedly they've been split into their adult and kid aspects. So it's the adults that they're running into, and the adults all sort of have a weird quirk to them.
Suffice to say, spoilers ahead.
Some spoilers, yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, maybe move that a little to the left. Note over.
But it's always random which one you're gonna run into, because that's how it's designed. So every time you run this one, it will be a little bit different. The first one they happened to run into had a little quirk that she could swap bodies with people. So she was just
Freaky Friday action here, people.
a lot of Freaky Friday.
Oh, Freaky
action,
Friday.
in fact.
Well, before we go into them, maybe we should introduce the characters we were playing for it. Andrew, would you like to go first, or would you like me to take that?
I'll go first. So, when I initially came, I basically did everything a player was supposed to do. Built the character, all this stuff. Get to day one. Nicole asked me, what is his name? Shit. So, he was basically almost a cookie cutter druid, like close range fighter type druid. And he had his spells and stuff like that. People thought I was a fighter for a while because I just did wild shape because I'm like, I don't know how long we're going to be in here, so I don't want to waste everything. So in the end, I was just like, I is normal human. That's a good name, right, guys? Right? Please tell me I'm right.
It's like that episode of Futurama. Human, sir.
And this one,
Human, a good Earthican name.
I am proud and ashamed all at the same time because I've made my cousin literally kick me out of the car because I told him how I built this character, and he just looked at me and go, get the fuck out. Because my cousin is also a DM. And my character literally had a redonkulous passive because I was like, how can I break a character? I wanted to break a character with his passive perception. At the current level that we were playing, which was 10, I think?
Yeah, I think we were 8. We were 8.
Yeah.
My passive was 26.
Which is amazing, but gross.
Yeah. Nicole hated me.
I think my best character, I think I just got to a 21 passive. So you're still 5 over?
No, like when you build a character, just specifically just have a high passive perception. It just...
Well, to do one thing. If you build any character to just do one thing, they're going to be very good at one thing. I mean, in Vampire the Masquerade, I built a sniper. I could literally, like, shoot any target I wanted from any... I took out a helicopter with a cowboy repeater.
But we will get to that story another time.
Yeah, maybe we'll start venturing into other games besides D&D at some point.
But Brian, your character.
Right, so I was playing Kincaid. Kincaid was a tiefling who was 50% rogue and 50% bard. I went 4 levels in each, and he was a... I had been wanting to play this character for years. And so I always wanted to play the rapier in one hand, crossbow in the other, just swashbuckling combat bard rogue combo. And this was the perfect time to finally get him in there. And I was just so excited for this character. And I intended for him to be a dad from the get-go because his sword had filigree in the shape of rose leaves, like the brambles and the flowers and whatnot, after his daughter. The original concept, the daughter was dead. In this case, the daughter was alive and the wife was dead because rogue, you need tragedy.
Of course, naturally.
And so I finally I threw in that dad aspect, and I didn't expect it to be as dad as it was.
And they were joined by a turtle rogue called Roomba, and a half-elf bard named Leo.
I think he had 1 level of barbarian. That was...
No, I think he had 1 level of rogue, and the rest was barbarian. He was Roomba because he was our trap Roomba. He found every trap.
He did.
And technically disarmed them.
By setting them off.
They were disarmed after that, to be fair.
This is very true. But anyway, they started exploring the funhouse and found the first individual who happened to be taking a nap, and they woke her up in this case. It was Leo who did it first and decided that body looked better than hers. So she took over Leo's body, Leo went into her body, and thus started the body swapping fun.
It was again like that damn episode of Futurama with the body swap.
Yep. All right.
We were getting put into each other's bodies. We were like, hit point tracking was a fucking nightmare.
Oh, yes, it was.
Yeah. I think I was the only one who didn't get swapped.
No, it was Roomba. Roomba was the only one that didn't get swapped.
Yeah, no. If she had taken over the barbarian, we'd have been fucked.
He was on my list. I almost made it. Almost made it to him.
I think he actually passed the save.
I think he did.
Like, randomly.
Yeah.
He was the only one to pass the save. I think we also figured out at some point she let it slip because we thought she was dead, and you gave like her death rattle where she's like, you should have killed my original body instead of me, mwahaha. And then we realized we didn't do enough damage to kill her.
Yeah.
And it's like, so it kind of made sense in game too, with a kid like, I'm dying. This is what death is. Why am I not dead yet?
Oh wait, I'm not actually. Fuck.
And I'm pretty sure Leo was in her body at that point.
Yeah, Leo was in her original body. So that was the first swap.
Yeah, little backstory on Leo. Leo is a half-elf searching for his father, whom he never met, and he was trying to like come to terms with it. So he had daddy issues. And I'm sitting here playing a character who is a surrogate father.
Yep.
Yeah, who is a dad. So I'm like, I put my hand on his shoulder. I'm like, Leo, I need you to trust me. Do you trust me, son?
No.
And I think it was the son part that was like, yes, I trust you. And I fucking ran him through.
Yep. Yeah.
And the best part about this whole thing is this was just the first of the kids.
First one.
And I
think
dealt so much damage to you guys, both mentally and physically. It was great.
Well, yeah, because then I didn't realize she was a kid until after we killed her. And then a little while later, I think we also burned the body to make sure she couldn't, like, hurt the other kids, come back and hurt the other kids. And then we figured out what was going on and how to restore the kids, and I'm just sitting there going, oh my god, what have I done? It became my mission. Like, I found I found a piece of her I could take to a cleric to have them bring her back to life so she could have a full life as an actual kid, and I could make it up to her. Like, that was my goal.
Oh.
Such a good dad.
Well, I also murdered a child!
It was so great making the one dad murder a child.
Yeah, I also just realized that audio clip is now on the internet for the,
Forever.
for the editing. See that in the courtroom now. It says here that you've been recorded saying you murdered a child. It's out of context. What context is that okay?
You're out of order.
You're out of order. This whole courtroom's out of order. Well, another fun time, and unfortunately, Andrew, you were not there for
I
this.
wasn't there for that, but you did tell me the story, so I'll let you guys take it away.
It was so good. So we played Happy Jack's Funhouse with a couple of our other friends, with Tom and Peter, who are part of our Monday games that we play. And oh dear, I don't even know how to explain this one.
I built, instead of like a character like Kincaid, I built a Aarakocra barbarian, storm barbarian, I think it was. It was the one who could like wield lightning when he raged. So, because I wanted to play someone dumb, so I could play dumb because we recently finished up that last Happy Jack, and since we were doing it again, I'm like, I don't want to, metagame it. I'm going to play a character too dumb to be able to metagame. So, Flies Through Thunder was born.
And I believe we had a turtle wizard who was very like, actually, adjust his glasses.
Yeah, that was Tom.
And I'm trying to remember who Peter was.
Oh god. Oh god. No one's ever told me that, so that hurts my soul. Actually.
Yeah, no.
The rules stay
actually.
as is. Ugh.
I don't remember,
I don't remember who Peter was, but they did come across the same individual again, and they fought her.
And body swapping ensued.
Body swapping ensued.
Although, to be fair, this time around, we had learned about the body swapping and the kids being the different ages and how to restore them before we met her. So I didn't have to murder a child again.
But
I didn't have to murder a child.
She did
again
get to play a little bit of a slightly longer game because she took over Peter's character's body. And so I was sending secret messages to him like, hey, just play it cool, but here's your stats. And Tom's character figured it out.
But Flies Through Thunder didn't know what was going on. All he knew was that body swapping had ensued and there was a problem. So Peter and Tom are fighting and I'm standing there like, what's going on? What's going on? And finally I roll high enough that my response is, as I bust through a door where they're fighting, I just yell out to them.
Peter rolled very well on his deception, and Tom rolled very poorly on his persuasion.
Yeah, so it was like, which one do I shoot? Him! And I didn't believe either of them. So I just lift my maul and yell out, one of you has been a very naughty girl! And I just start swinging. So I swing at Peter's character first, and I end up dropping him, I'm pretty sure. And then Tom's just like, phew, well, I'm really glad. I take my second attack. What? Wait, what? And I just start wailing on him, too. I'm doing non-lethal damage. The whole thing is I need to knock them out because I don't know which one of them is lying. And it was just, I beat the wizard down. I beat whatever Peter was playing down, and I dragged them to the front room where we had the kids, and I tied them up, I put them in a box, and I'm like, we figure out later, and done. Barbarian negotiations. I made sure that how I tied them up was the most uncomfortable thing ever, because one of them was a kid, and it was like, go back in your original body, or I just keep hitting you.
Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
Flies Through Thunder was an interesting experience. I don't play barbarians often, but when I do, They seem to be bipedal animals with anger issues.
Huh. It does, doesn't it?
So, I guess, because we are getting close to time here, Nicole, what would you say, especially because this is a very interesting situation, where you've run the same one-shot more than once with different groups, but with a singular player who has played it both times in the group. What did you learn from this experience?
Well, first off, I can trust my player who has run it multiple times to not metagame because I have some amazing players and I'm very, very fortunate for that. But also, the whole reason I could even run it multiple times is it has a lot of randomness, it has a lot of replayability to be able to make it still fresh and still different. Different characters going through the same thing will have different experiences. And it's just always fascinating to see what comes out at the end.
Alrighty. Well, thank you all for joining us for another episode of the DM Corner. My name has been Brian.
I am Andrew Brown.
And I'm Nicole.
Thank you all for joining us. We hope to see you in our next edition.
Bye!
Bye!
Bye! Thank you for joining us for another episode of Dungeon Master's Corner. If you'd like to support us, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Reliably Chaotic. We really need the funds to get the CPS off our ass. You can also drop us a line on Twitter at Reliably Chaotic. We'd love to hear from you.